Are we live?
Not yet.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Senator.
Good
We are
morning.
now live.
Thank you. Thank you for getting us started. We are still waiting for Delegate Patterson and Delegate Wilson. I see Delegate Harris, Kevin Harris here. Sharon, will Chairman Wilson be attending in person?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna give him a call right now.
Okay. And Delegate Patterson is connecting now. Welcome everyone to the first meeting of the Charles County delegation for this legislative session. I am Delegate Deborah Davis, District 28. We're waiting for Chairman Wilson, but I believe we have a quorum. If you guys don't have any objection, we can get started.
No objection.
Thank you. So you've each received a copy of the agenda, a copy of the legislative proposals for Charles County and for the legislative bond initiative proposals. I'd like to get through most of them today. As you see on the agenda, we're also going to talk about district night. We're going to get a district night update. But that's all I'd like to do today. First, there's organizational matters I see on the agenda. Can we deal with that first?
Madam Chair, good morning to everyone. I feel that with the organizational structure, it's gone very well, and I move that we continue with the current leadership for Charles County.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any objections? Thank you so much. Look, as we dealt with the Southern Maryland leadership, I just want to say that my goal is to make sure that we're all on the same page. We all know what's happening, and that I don't speak for the delegation, that we all speak for the delegation. So it is my job to bring everything back to you. And let the delegation make the decisions. Okay, that's what's important to me. All right. Next thing on the agenda is district night. I believe Ariel is going to give an update on district night.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Again, my name is Ariel Moore. I'm Chief of Staff to Delegate Davis, and this is just a brief overview of some stuff that the other Chief of Staff for all legislators has discussed in reference to our district night. It's taking place on Thursday, February 6th. Time frame is 6 to 8 p.m. All staff and interns or legislative aides will begin setup at 4 o'clock. The location is going to be at the Miller East Room. The food will be provided by Selby's. We have received a quote, so all of the chief of staffs have received that, and we are allowed to have up to 300 guests for district night this year. They increased it because we have a larger space. As long as all legislators are able to contribute their $1,500, then that means that we'll have a budget of $6,000 total. Natoya, Chief of Staff to Senator Ellis, she will be doing the invites, sending out invites and sending us over a list of all individuals that she have communicated with. We're also going to create a sign-up link so that we could distribute it to everyone so that we could get a head count of how many people we're anticipating on having. I've already started coordinating with graphics so that we could get the large posters. Each member will receive one. I will have the graphics team also help assist with making a flyer and a save the date card that I'll have ready for all distribution on Monday. A question that I have for everyone is in regards to the school performance. Last year we had High Point High School. North Point High School, yes. I need to know if you all would like to have them at district night again, or if you all would like to switch it up and select another school. If we don't have to decide right now, but this is open discussion, or if you want to just get back to me on Monday, whichever one works.
Well, they did an awesome job, but I think we should probably spread it out. What do you guys think?
Excuse me, what is the date again? February?
6th.
Yeah, I concur with that. I think that we should extend the invitation to another high school.
Okay, perfect.
So my question is, suggestions, which high school have good singing groups, whether it's a quartet, choir, whatever. Uh, Anyone have any ideas which schools we
Well,
should reach out to?
well, they all have them, right? I don't think we should judge as to which ones have the best.
It might be, maybe, you should pass it on to the music director of one of the schools. I know that McDonough has just opened up the new theater part, but I would, because there's also a date issue, I would open it up to the offer a request or secure request recommendation for the music director.
Okay, that being said, I think the protocol is we send the request to the school board, Dr. Navarro, and let her know that last year North Point would like another school to come up, and please work that for us. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
That
Okay.
works. Awesome, thank you. And then some new suggestions that we had is to offer buses. So if you all have any type of point of contact so that we can have transportation to help get our constituents down here to the Annapolis area, that would be greatly appreciated.
How do you guys feel about that?
Okay. Quick question. What what does ethics people say? Can we get buses with the 6,000?
No.
No. Okay. So, and we can't use, because we're using government money, we can't use any other funds to do anything in regards to District 9. That's my understanding of that.
Okay.
So,
Wait, what does that, repeat that, please? So if we got, for example, one of the bus contractors, school buses, whatever, we would have to pay out of pocket?
well, I don't think we are allowed to do anything out of pocket
Oh,
since we're using government money, and we can't get donations for it either. So, but if we can get another
we use
government
personal-
agency to do it,
oh, to sponsor.
yes,
Get it.
Okay.
yeah. We went through this last year with Dia, and she was like, nope, since you're using government money, no contributions, no outside money. I think the policy is the same. So what others have done from Baltimore County, they got like the city to sponsor a bus. So I don't know if we can have any government agency, because we can't have lobbyists or anyone else do it.
Give me a minute.
So you're saying, what I'm hearing is that county governments can do it?
Yes.
Yes, because I know in Charles County, they have their community funds. They have an allowance for that
Mhm.
to donate to different things.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay,
So we'll reach out. We'll reach out to the county commissioners and see if they want to sponsor that. That would be
Okay.
awesome.
And who'll do that?
Ariel
Okay.
and Natoya. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want to clear that up. Natoya and Ariel have been working together, Senator.
Okay, good. So they'll do it.
They all have been working together.
Right.
And because Ariel was there last time, Natoya kind of punted to her to hold this conversation. Okay.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
great. So that's good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Perfect, thank you. And then the last thing that another suggestion that we came up with that Kara helped me assist with is we were trying to see if we could get tours for our constituents, but the tour cutoff time on Thursdays is at 4 p.m. So they will not be able to extend their tour time for the constituents when they come down on Thursday.
Okay.
And then now we're going to open it up to you all if you all have any other type of suggestions. Oh, one other thing, Lakey High School is going to
Lackey.
Lackey
You're showing your Prince George's connections. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, yeah.
High School.
Henry E. Lackey High School.
High Point
Yes, Prince
Yeah,
George's.
you know.
is going to donate centerpieces. Natoya gave me the news
Donate.
yesterday that they're going to be able to make the centerpieces for our district night as well.
That's nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
They're donating centerpieces. I
Yes.
missed something.
Yes.
Well, that's great.
And perhaps we need to reach out for other donations.
We can
Let's
definitely.
think about that. I mean, we're thinking about donating the buses. We're thinking about perhaps, I believe, yeah, we can make that happen. We can make some questions. We can make some requests.
Awesome. Any
Any-
other suggestions or changes from the previous? We're going to keep the same run and show that we did as last year as well. That's everything on my end. Thank you.
Madam
Thank you.
Chair?
Sure, Senator Jackson.
Yes, thank you. I hope the team that's putting together this awesome event will send a couple of invites over to District 27A. We'd appreciate it. Because we have 4 invitations for 28.
Oh, I get it.
Our date will be I believe it's March 10th, and so we will forward the information for our district night as well. So thanks.
I don't think there's any objection to that. Thank you.
What's that?
I don't think there's any objection to that. Thank you.
That's great to hear. Great to hear. I mean, the senator and I sit right next to each other now, so we work some of these things out before we come on.
Oh.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
definitely.
Pro forma, like,
Pro forma, yeah. So quick question, Ariel. Is there a charge for the Miller East?
No, there's no charge.
Okay, good. And what's the total amount? I don't know if you have that number for Chef
It's
Shelby.
5,200 for a guest total count of 300 individuals.
So 5,200?
Yes.
Wow, that means we'll have 800
$800.
left over. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Well, let's talk about the bill proposals. Do you guys have those in front of you? So there were 15 bill proposals sent from the Charles County Commissioners. They've been voted on and they've been approved by them. We had the hearing, well, most of us were present at the discussion of the first discussion when the bill proposals were being presented. So there are 15. I forwarded 11 through 15, which were all money proposals. I forwarded to Senator Ellis, Kevin Harris, Delegate Harris, and Chairman Wilson to take a look at. So I'm hoping that we could talk about maybe a priority among them. I think we would all agree that the courthouse should be number 1, which is number 11. And we'd like to discuss whether we think we can get any money for those, we know the budget is tight, but what are you thinking, you guys? Delegate Harris, Senator Ellis, the money guys.
Yeah, put all the money on the house right now. We'll let y'all handle the dollars on that
Put all the
side.
money on the house.
Yeah, we have a budget guy on the Senate side too, just so you know.
On the Senate side. Who was that? I'm sorry, update me.
Who's that?
Me.
We sent it to you, right? We didn't send it to you?
No,
I'm so
no. I was just joking about you said Harris because he's the money guy.
Yeah,
Appropriations.
appropriations. But
Yeah,
look, so
I'm
I'm
budget
saying,
and taxation, just so you know. Budget.
okay, I'm sorry. So I'm saying that because, I mean, there is, these proposals, there are 5 of them, and they're pretty extensive. I figured you guys can look at them later and get back with us. I think my priority, and maybe we can talk about that, my priority would be the courthouse. I'm a little biased, but they've often mentioned that it was unsafe, and it has been unsafe for a while.
Mhm.
And we even have availability for new judges, but we have no place to put them.
So, Madam Chair,
Sure.
quick question. So I was under the impression that grant funding, bond bill money should be, the nonprofit shouldn't go to government entities. I thought.
Yeah. And these aren't bond initiatives. These are
Oh.
just requests for funding from the commissioners.
Oh,
Yeah.
these, okay.
These 5. So we're
So
not talking
including
about,
the courthouse?
yeah. The courthouse is number 11. Number 11
Yeah.
on the priorities. Not
Yeah.
on the priorities, but on the list from the commissioners.
Yeah, for the attorneys. I mean, I thought there is a process for the courts to do their construction, going through the judiciary, and there's a fund mechanism through that process.
You know, there is, I wish Chairman Wilson was here. There is a process, but I think like roads and all the other projects, the county has to put in a certain amount of money.
Well, what number, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Chairman Davis, is that number 11? No, that's
Yes,
school.
that's number 11. They amended it to include or they amended it to include the circuit court.
Oh, I see that.
I
I
see
just
Senator
wanted to, I'm sorry to
Jack-
interrupt. I just wanted to add a note on that. So when this, initially, I believe when this proposals came out, it was just for the blueprint.
Yes.
And then I explicitly reached out to Crystal to add the courthouse from the appropriations or the allocation from a few years ago that the chairman did, maybe like $1 million or so.
Right.
But I'm definitely gonna look into the judiciary process with the library or so on and so forth to see what information I can find on that end.
Okay. Well, and they amended it to just include the courthouse. Is that correct? Am I understanding that correct?
No, initially it didn't include the courthouse on this proposal.
All right. Thank you. Senator Jackson has his hand up.
Yes, look, there's a process by which the judiciary comes to the budget committees to make their requests. Local governments have also, obviously, particularly with circuit court, have stake in the game as well. So county governments are not, it's not out of the realm for county governments to ask for dollars for construction, but it's part of their package that they typically send up. So I mean, so that's usual, but it would also be nice to know what the judiciary has proposed, and I'll know. I had the Public Safety Committee on the Senate side, so I'll know what the judiciary has lined up for each county and what they're looking for. I understand the county commissioner's request to help with that. That should be part of their budgetary ask as well. And so I just haven't seen it broken down this way. But it's not unusual. But the judiciary has a huge package that they put forth each year. And the county does have responsibility for the circuit court. Circuit court is a local court facility, which also houses the state district court.
So if this is a priority for the Charles County Commissioners, how do you think we should move forward to try to move this project forward?
I think it's if we agree to support that priority, I think we agree to support it, and we move it along with the local packages that come up. Again, the budget committee is part of the process where all of these packages that come through for each county have local legislative days, not like the liquor days or the gun days, but they try to put them together where all the local legislation comes before the committees. And once the locals say yes, because the county governments have already factored in financially that their ability to either have local bonds or whatever they need to do to sustain this. Different governments, Prince George's, their charter, you guys are code home rule and the other form of government commissioners, there's a level that they have to come to the state for. But if we support this initiative, it goes up with the package, and then the fiscal folks will advise, what's appropriate to ask for and what is not the dollar amount, but the actual ask.
Okay.
And so we just say yay or nay on it, and then the process will take care of itself.
So are we in a position to make this a priority for funding?
But my 2 cents is yes, because it's very important, and there are dollars that are out there, and there is focus on public safety in our courts because of the challenges that the more challenges that we're encountering. It's it's a good time to jump on that. So
Okay.
I'd
I
say yes.
also know there's
That's
$1
my
million.
vote.
There's $1 million sitting out there from Chairman Wilson from before that has been appropriated already.
Yeah. And there's
Yeah.
again, if you look at the budget documents, the judiciary has a huge amount of dollars. The challenge for local governments is getting their requests in to get their due amount. But those state dollars for judiciary also come with an expectation that the locals are gonna, contribute. So
Okay. Can I hear a motion to make this one a priority so we can move to the others?
move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion, any further discussion on this? Thank you. All in favor?
Specific questions, maybe.
Good morning, Chair. This is January, the Chief of Staff for Delegate Harris. There's not a chat enabled on this meeting, but I just wanted to let you know that Delegate Harris is in agreement.
With that, yeah, was there an
Okay.
amendment?
Thank
Just jumbling multiple meetings.
you. Okay. Thank you. And do you want to enable chat? Ariel, do you want to enable the chat? So we could,
Yes, I'm doing that now.
thank you so much. All right, so all in favor, and so it's unanimous that we're going to make this the priority for Charles County government regarding funding, right? And we all know dollars are pretty slim these days, but that's why we have to narrow down and concentrate on, I believe, one funding priority. Okay. Now, Ariel, if you can scroll up to the top, we're going to start from the top regarding the other proposals.
Madam Chair, before we leave, what happens with 12? So for clarity, I know 11 will be a priority. What happens to 12 through 15?
So,
If-
Delegate Pastor, I thought I would send it to them
Okay,
and let them see what they could do. They know that they're all of these are, let's say, priorities. Do you want to rank them all? Would you like to rank them?
no, but I think in light of the person that was killed in Waldorf, who was hit because it was not well, I don't know the reason, but she was hit in the road in the snow, that we really consider 12 as a priority as well. So
Sure.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Madam Chair, if I might.
Yes.
So, only because I'm in a pretty unique position, not a requested position, but again, having the three forms of government and looking at local requests. Local requests, again, when the delegations agree with the county government to send up their package, whatever you agree to send the package up, you send it up, and then there's a partnership with the local government working on it, as well as us in Annapolis. So if we agree, we send the package, because again, the local government, and I think Ms. Mitchell was on, the local government they understand their obligation. They have worked out
Yes.
if there's any financial obligations on their end where they can meet what they need to meet. And so it's the county government saying, hey, look, these are the things that we believe in FY25, or we know we need. And then we work it through. And if there's any consternation with any of the committees, then that's where, our dynamic team goes to work. I think, we can put a little weight on things, but I don't think we want the outside world to say that, we honor anything over anything else. I just don't want to get us in a bind. And the fact that the dollars are a little challenging, local governments are still prioritized in getting what they need. You know, it's not the same as with bond initiatives and things of that nature.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
I wouldn't let them all, I wouldn't let us off the hook in Annapolis. I would just say we either agree with the recommendations from the commissioners to submit it up or we don't. It's
Well,
just,
when we were there, these were 5 proposals that are pretty darn expensive. And so I think we need to give you guys some direction. All right,
Me too.
that's where I am. And the idea, maybe we should just prioritize them so you know when you get into the back room, which ones we think are
okay.
should be
All right.
should be
All
the
right.
top. You mean, because listen, because they go to state funding for creation of a housing trust fund, state funding to create real-time crime centers,
Mhm.
proposal to commit state fundings for a ferry service connecting Indian Head and National Harbor. You understand? They're
I do. I do. I
pretty
do.
big.
Yeah, look, and all I'm saying is that, you know, our conversations are our conversations, and
Okay.
that works there. What I was trying to say is let's not, you know, we're not wrangling. We want it all when we
Okay.
ask for it,
So
you
you
know,
have
and
all
that's all
you
I'm
have all
saying.
5. You have all 5.
Yeah.
Senator Ellis, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So with number 12, the county sidewalk program. So for several years now, I introduced a sidewalk bill for the state to do that. And it's getting traction this year. I have a House cross-file member of the Transit Caucus. I'm vice chair of the Transit Caucus this year. And the problem is every year so far, MACO comes in against it, saying it's too expensive. So I know our commissioner president is on the MACO board. Maybe we can communicate with him to get MACO to support sidewalks, especially because of, I mean, we look at Thomas Stone High School. That's in your district, Senator Jackson. But before it was, I put the sidewalk bill in, motivated by Thomas Stone High School. There's no sidewalk. There are no sidewalks leading from the school, and students' children walk home every day on the grass and the streets. And it turned out the problem is huge statewide. Montgomery County alone said it'll cost over $60 million to give kids who walk to school sidewalks, and other counties like that. So the problem is big, and I think there are federal, well, I know there are federal funds to do it. There's a safe path to school, federal funds. So we need to find a mechanism where we can have the state and the counties committed to do these grants and get these funds with almost zero impact on the state budget.
Thank you, Senator Ellis. I think that's really important. And perhaps another bill would be that all new schools have sidewalks, because we built that school in Charles County. Our latest elementary school doesn't have sidewalks. Perhaps that's an idea for a bill.
Yeah. New
So that-
school. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, every new school, it should be somewhere in the building code that they have sidewalks.
Right. Thank you. We'll look at putting that in.
Because ours was built just a couple years ago, probably since your bill.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So I think what I'd like to put forth is that we want all the money, but 11 and 12 are our priorities, right? Sidewalks and the courthouse are our priorities. Is there any further discussion on that? You guys want to be here all day. Okay, let's go back to the other 10 recommendations that came from the commissioners. Well, they came from the commissioners or citizens, and they were voted on by the commissioners and forwarded to us. The first one is a proposal to adopt legislation to deter squatter and trespassers. When we're there, we tell them that looks statewide. That's a statewide bill. That's not something we want to just do in Charles County. Is there any discussion on that? No, I don't see any hands.
No, that's right.
Okay. Number 2, a proposal to amend the Maryland Homeowners Association Act. We couldn't draw anything specific from that when I reviewed it. If anybody has anything on that, I also see it as a statewide bill. If I can gather anything from it, I'll make sure that Marvin Holmes has it, but I wasn't able to pull anything from that bill. Proposal provides certain minimum notice to school bus companies before terminating their contract. Any discussion on that?
I do. I think there was some confusion about what the bus contractors were requesting. And I think it's merited largely because the board continues to purchase buses. And with that in mind, and the superintendent has shared that is her objective to make transportation a county function versus contractors. And so, looking at the legislation, the proposal is that they at least be given a notification, pretty much what's done in other counties, such as Calvert County, of a 10-year disclosure so that they will have time to make adjustments or modifications, or maybe not purchase additional buses. And that is where I stand in supporting this initiative.
I echo that.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
same here. I support also.
Because I live, if you go to Dr. Craig's School or Steedham Center, you will see the number of buses that are idly sitting there. They're not being utilized, they're just stored or whatever. So it's like a hub of
So,
additional buses being purchased, but really also being underutilized. So thank you very much for that.
all right, thank you. Okay. So are we gonna vote on whether to push this forward as a county, as a delegation bill?
So move.
Second.
All
Good.
right. Is there any opposition? All right, thank you. The next one is proposal to amend the stadium alcoholic beverage license to allow for sale and consumption throughout the stadium. And there's a revised proposal attached. I don't recall what that is. Have you guys, are there
Madam
any
Chair,
other questions about this bill? Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I think it's doing what we did in at the Bay Sox Stadium not too long ago. Senator Ellis, I think it's what we did, right? There are a number of stadiums that were on the minor league circuit that did not have that, and so if I believe it mirrors the Bay Sox.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm good with that myself. That's my vote.
So my only concern was that it is in the center of a residential area. And so I was concerned about that. I spoke with some of the lobbyists and the people involved. I've had them reach out to the homeowners associations. I'm not getting any pushback. I'll put that into the conversation.
Yeah. And one of the conversations I had with the owners is that preference should be made to Charles County brewed and distilled products.
I like that.
Yeah. And we can help our local brewers and distillers. And I think, I don't know if that's part of the revised proposal.
I don't think so. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Mitch
Oh,
Mitchell's on.
Danielle Mitchell.
Good morning, delegation members. I was just going to mention that the revision was the change of the name. They were changed initially, they wanted to change the name to a multi-use license. And I think the commentary from the delegation was, it's at a baseball stadium, just keep the name as it is. And so that was the revision. It didn't have anything to do with being locally brewed or manufactured or anything. I just wanted to clarify that.
So the revision was to say at the baseball stadium. They call it a baseball stadium.
It was just to keep the name as it currently exists, which is that it's a baseball stadium license, as opposed to what they were initially proposing, which was to change it to multi-use to, I guess, reflect that it's not always just baseball going on at the facility. But then they changed it back and said, we're not going to do the name change because that didn't seem to be, that didn't appeal to the delegation. That was the commentary. Also, I would just mention they have a license right now that allows for beer, wine, and liquor. The
Okay.
only difference, what they're asking for is the ability to consume it and to sell it throughout the stadium, as opposed to just at particular points of sale. So I don't want you to be under the impression that they don't have the liquor right now. They do have that already. So just clarifying.
Okay, I see.
That was my question. Thank you very much for saying that.
You're welcome.
Ms. Mitchell, was there any pushback at the hearings?
None at all.
Okay, thank you. All right, you guys ready to vote on this one? Is that a yes? All in
Let me,
favor?
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Senator Ellis talked about local
All right.
distributors, and so we don't want to not address his concern.
That's right. I wrote it down, and let's talk about it.
Okay.
So do we add it as a preference for local?
Well, I think
The
it makes
idea of
mention-
having a preference, but then that, because you don't want to limit. So,
could we have our county, Ms. Mitchell, can you advise, so they have existing vendors?
So right now, again, because they have a beer, wine, liquor license, it sounds to me like what you're saying is if you're permitted to consume, and let me also say that part of this is trying to respond to this change in the industry where you have a lot more of these spiked beverages that contain actual liquor in them, like your high noons, things like that. And they want to be able to sell those in the stands, which they can already do with beer and wine, but they can't do with the liquor. So that I just want to kind of put some context around that. In my opinion, what they have right now is more expansive than what you're suggesting in terms of limiting the types of products to local. And I would just say it would be a limitation on them.
No, I understand, and have you have you heard concerns about from the local folks that they aren't able to do that?
I can't say that I have. You mean like from patrons of the stadium that say, why can't I purchase
And the
these
local
other kinds of
breweries
products?
yeah, and as well as the local brewers and distilleries.
No, that hasn't come to my attention.
Okay, thank you.
They could actually have a booth or something there, right?
Say that again, Delegate.
They have booths or
Oh,
stands where people sell their products, right?
they can. I mean, that really deals with the concessionaire coming up with those agreements with the local businesses. And maybe it becomes more of an economic development push to try to get those kinds of options in the stadium. I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know what they're doing in terms of offering the local stuff.
Yeah, Madam Chair? Could
Yes.
I? Yeah, so I wouldn't just, my idea was not just to limit the sales to locally produced products, but to include them, proactively include them. So it's not exclusionary, it's very much inclusive.
I believe there's support for that, Senator Ellis. So if in fact we do that, we'll figure a way to write it to
Right.
write an economic development clause or something that would include homegrown breweries or local breweries. We could probably
Right.
do. And we could do it probably, Danielle, Ms. Mitchell, you're really helping out because it's a concession issue. So there's probably a way to deal with that.
Yes, it's really deals with the concessionaire who's making those arrangements with distributors. And typically we don't see, I mean, I guess if there's language that just speaks to sort of this good faith effort kind of deal, then maybe that would be acceptable. I am not sure because it's really more a contractual issue with the distributor.
And if you could, we can go forward with this since, I sit on the finance committee where all alcohol issues come through. It'll be really easy for us to come up with an amendment before Alcohol Day, which I think is
Correct.
February 24th, I believe. Don't hold me to that.
It's soon in the House, right? I think it's soon in the House, but go ahead. Delegate Harris.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry that I've been in and out, had so many meetings, but there was a bill, I think it's still going through right now. Well, hasn't had a hearing yet, but one of the languages that's in the bill, I think we could use it for this one. And that was to say like 10% or 15% or whatever that percentage may be of locally brewers can be sold at X location. And so we just put a percentage in there and not just a blanket statement. I think that would be helpful too. Whatever that number will be, I'm not saying it needs to be 10, 20%. I'm just saying we could put that percentage in there. I think that'd be helpful as well.
Okay. We're gonna ask for this to be drafted. So if you want to send over that language, we could add that.
Right.
You want to discuss percentages, or we just gonna say a percentage? What do you want to say, Senator? Your idea.
Look, I'd say, look, if there's something out there, the drafters will know. But everyone, all these contracts run their course. So, this conversation lends to, your next layer of having folks become contractors. I mean, this is a great opportunity for us. So
Yes.
I vote aye on this bill
With the amendment.
And yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any opposition? Thank you so much. The next one deals with trial boards, police misconduct. The next two deal with police misconduct. They are statewide bills. We would not want to have, we're not allowed to carve out specifics for just our county. I'm working with judiciary to try to figure out whether people have already have these in, because I believe that definitely the second one is the first one. Number 5 is something that is other people have mentioned. So I believe I'm talking with judiciary to try to figure out whether we can do this as a package.
Yeah, it's coming in from everywhere. So
yeah, they're all kinds. Yeah, they're all kinds of one. And I'm surprised that they haven't decided to do it, as a package already. Delegate Harris, your hand is still up, or?
Oh yeah, real quick. Just a quick point of order. Make sure, I might be missing it, but we did a first and a second on that last one, but we all didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. When there's no opposition, it's tough, right? Okay. back to the other bill about the liquor license. Number 4 on the number 4 on our priority on our legislative proposals. All in favor? I did that. So it's approved. Is right. What did I miss, Kevin?
We're then all in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
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 I think I did it the other way and said, is there any opposition? So
Right.
this one passes. This one will be forwarded. Okay. Now, I believe the next 2 are statewide. The police misconduct and administrative charging are statewide bills.
Yes.
I'll try to get some people together to figure out how to handle it. A proposal to allow county employees commissioned as special police officers to use their police powers to protect elected officials and employees. Do you remember that one? Delegate Patterson was there, Senator Ellis was there. You guys remember that?
Yes.
I think that was with,
Kevin.
yeah.
There was some pushback from some of the members, some of us at there. What's your concern? No?
I didn't have a concern because I reiterated when I was commissioner and John was in security, I took him with me to several meetings because some of them are very, very demonstrative. Well, I shouldn't say demonstrative, very challenging. So it's really important to have someone there in light of what's happened with elected officials throughout this nation.
And the issue is, and I'm going to get you in 1 second, Delegate Harris. The issue is that they can't go with them outside of Charles County. That's the issue, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Delegate Harris.
Yes. So, and thank you, Madam Chair. I was like one of the ones that was against this. And one of the things they kept saying during that hearing during that day was that there's something that Prince George's has. There's something that Prince George's has. And I went back to Prince George and all the county council members there, and it's not something that they
We don't do that. So
don't do it whatsoever. No one joins them at a town hall, zero zip, nothing like that. Only person that has that privilege is the county executive and obviously the state's attorney. Outside of that, no one else has that privilege. I was one of the ones that was against it because we don't have it's not seen in the next year next county over.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start comparing yourself with other counties. So in Charles, we have security at places in the county already. I mean, you're allowed as a both Delegate Patterson and I were commissioners. We had securities at town hall meetings if we thought it was necessary. We have security, I believe, whenever there are 3 commissioners in a room. So we have that already. They have found that they needed it outside of the county. And it's, I mean, I've spoken with with John, and John is head of security. I've spoken with him. It was his idea. The commissioners like it. I'm in favor of it.
All right. So I'm not sure if I'm still speaking. So I was not comparing here. I just wanted to make sure we set the record straight when they said that Prince George's had the same thing. I want to make sure that's wasn't accurate. Prince George's does not have the same thing. I just want to make sure we are straight on that piece.
Keep them honest.
My concern was that, other people were saying that other counties did it. It wasn't you.
Right.
Delegate Patterson.
Yes, is this enabling legislation?
To allow county employees commissioned special, yes. So they can, or it is enabling legislation.
may I ask a question?
Sure.
So, we have other lives outside of these lives. And so there are firms that are out there that offer executive protection for folks, I know a little bit about that. And, there are contractual arrangements that are made, and whether it's government officials or entertainers or whatever. So I guess this question is for Ms. Mitchell. Has the county government sought to contract folks who already had the authority to do this? I mean, there are private entities that do this all the time. And so to ask the state to give them permission to have local officials have security, I'm not sure if I've got to digest it, but right now I can't and won't. But I'm not sure that I would be comfortable. Well, I vote no on this as it stands, but I'm not sure if the county government actually needs to come to the state. You have the special police powers, and I know there's some security legislation in the article and all of that, but there are ways of getting that done other than coming to the state. I'm not comfortable with this bill, so I can't vote.
It's our form of government that makes us come to the state for.
No, I understand that, but it's also the ability. I mean, the county government has the ability to. Government entities have the ability to enter into certain types of contracts, and so with the special police that you're dealing with is probably the connection to the state. But I'm not, as it stands, I'm not supportive of this one. But
isn't it enabling them to do so, and then by using the people they already have, they don't have to hire new people?
Yes.
Yeah, we've never used outside like a third-party security company for that purpose. I think I understand what Senator Jackson is asking. To my knowledge, that's never been the case. They're looking to use the special police that are employed with the county to be able to use them on technically it's county-owned property that they have this authority over. So even if we were in the county, if they were on private property, technically they wouldn't have those special police powers. And so that's what they're looking to change the law to do. We've never used a third party. And if I could just also clarify on the enabling piece, the way that this is written, it would amend a part of the code, and there would be no need for us to do a local law. Now, we could do something if we wanted to sort of enhance or we wanted to lay out some sort of procedures. We could do that at the local level, but technically speaking, if you were to pass the bill as it's proposed here, we would not need to do a local law. And this is statewide. This is not specific to Charles County. This is amending your public safety article that would impact special police officers throughout the state.
Well, I appreciate that. I've had numerous challenges with public safety articles, but I'll leave it there. I'll stand where I'm at right now. So.
Well, Danielle, you kind of turned my head a little bit. So you want this statewide rather than local? Why?
Well, no, we would happily have everything that we've asked for be just Charles County, but I believe that because the special police officer language, where it is in your code currently, I mean, if there can be a carve out for Charles County, I guess I defer to your legislative services for that. But as written, it's specific to Charles County. I'm sorry, it would not be specific to Charles County.
Well, again, for me, Madam Chair, and I'm going to really stop on this, but again, with the special police and the article, there's a can of worms, so to speak, as you look at that. So waiting for the voting.
All right. Delegate Harris.
Yes, sorry, me again. So now I remember this hearing. So you already have the police already at your town halls. What they were asking for, now I remember clearly, what they're asking for is the second they leave the county building, they wanted security with them the second they leave the county building and go and travel around Charles County. So because they're already there with them at town halls, they wanted security, these security forces with them the second they leave the county building and go around Charles County. So that's what they're asking for, because it's already at town halls with them. It's just when they leave the building. And that's the reason why I was against it. So that I remember now.
Okay, so they would ask for permission. It wasn't just following them around. They would ask for permission. They do have a way of deciding, the commissioners have a way of deciding where officers will be and where they won't be. And as Ms. Mitchell just mentioned, there are some places in Charles County they can't go. Look, if Charles County wants to do this, if they feel they have a security issue, I think your two former commissioners here are leaning in the direction to let them do what they think they need to do, and they have to pay for it. And the idea of going outside and paying for separate protections when they already have a force already there that they pay for is, I don't know. But can y'all give a little deference to the people who were there before? Delegate Patterson.
My concern is this: when it's local, I don't have a problem, but it's going to be a tough push if this is statewide. So I think in essence of really getting this through and the time we would have to spend on it, and I don't believe it will pass statewide.
Can we make it for Charles County only?
Well, Ms. Mitchell had said because of where it's in the code, it cannot be Charles County only. Ms. Mitchell, can it be code home rural counties?
In Southern Maryland?
Right, the Southern Maryland. You can certainly try for that. My understanding of how this works is that if it's a purely local issue, then you're able to make it a Charles County bill. But if there's a way to make this Charles County only, we would definitely be in support of that effort. I just didn't think because of where it is in the code, because of the language that needed to be amended, I didn't think that it could be county only, but perhaps your legislative services would see it differently. So I'm really probably not in the best place to speak to that.
All right. I understand that there's some opposition will your vote change whether when it's Charles County or not Charles County? Does that make a difference, Delegate Harris and Senator Jackson?
So I think this bill needs some work, and I trust me, I lived it and continue to live the public safety life, and I understand how severe the matter is. Look, what I would say is, see what you can come up with. I'm always open, but right now I'm not. But we count votes, so it's how
Do
things
you-
go, and then we see. Again, when you touch that article, there's a lot of things that come out of that once that starts. And so, how do you drill it down to Charles County is what you need to do.
Okay, let's get it. Is there any opposition to getting it drafted and then taking a look at it to see whether drafters can actually do it?
Yeah, you can always ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
So, Madam Chair, could I dive in here? I do a lot of deferment when it comes to these police criminal justice issues to my colleague, Senator Jackson, the former sheriff. Do you want it to be unanimous consent or is the vote majority vote? I mean, what's your pleasure?
I guess I'm trying to get as much consensus as I can. I think we may be able to get a majority vote on. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to take temperature in the room.
Okay.
I don't know.
So,
You have a
so
motion?
could I just say that it seems like it's about the four folks doing the discussions 2-2, and I'm out there. And if you want a majority vote, I will give it. But if not, if you want consensus, I'll just be quiet. I just want to follow your lead with that.
Well, we are a democracy, but look, is there anything? I think I got Senator Jackson. How about someone make a motion that we draft it and take another look at it? We'll have time.
Okay, I think let me say this. I mean, there's we have a robust resource in Annapolis that you can have that conversation, say, look, this is what we would like to do. We just don't know how to do it right now. We want to gain consensus because because it makes sense to have consensus. That's what we do. We build votes. We gain votes or look for the votes for consensus to move something forward. But this is where we're trying to get. We believe, our understanding is that we may have a challenge with the article, and once you begin to delve into that article, you begin to open up things. How can we get our government, and they may say it has to be code home rule governments, and we've had other pieces of legislation that would deal with our three forms of government, but I would take that time. Now, I don't know the clock, and so, but again, it's public safety. It's very important. But I think we owe it to our constituency, regardless of who they are, to delve in as much as we can. So I would say, do that. You got a direct connect with me at any time. We'll see what happens. But I wouldn't, it means a lot. So I wouldn't just cast it to the side if that's what we shouldn't have to wrestle with that. It's something that we should be able to work out, or at least exhaust all avenues before.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. Delegate Harris.
Yeah, so as a compromise here, because I know today we got to get this stuff in that's drafted. I think we should put the bill through to get drafted. However, I believe we should hold this vote until the next time we meet. Put the bill in to be drafted, but hold this vote to the next time we all meet to actually take the vote on this particular bill. That's my thoughts.
And you would have which version of the bill to make it Charles County only?
Yeah, I would do it that way.
All right.
I concur with that because my vote is for Charles County only.
Okay. All right. So are you going to make that a motion, Delegate Harris?
Yes, I move that we submit a draft, get the draft into DLS, but we hold on this vote to push it actually out through for actual hearing to another delegation meeting.
Okay. All right. I've got another meeting starting like right now, but
Second.
you guys, oh, second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Uh,
All right, any opposition? Thank you. We will move to put the draft in Charles County only, and we'll take another look at it later. Okay? We have two more. A proposal to dissolve the gaming permit board, review board. If you were there, they said it wasn't a big deal. They don't get many gaming permits, so they just want to do that in Charles County. Any problems?
No.
Okay. So, any opposition? I don't think we need a vote. Any opposition to this? Unless you want to vote? Okay. Proposal to adopt legislation to prohibit operating unregistered motor vehicles such as all-terrain vehicles from being operated on the highway. So, one year we did it and didn't move. Last year, my committee asked that we hold off because we were going to have a statewide bill. The statewide bill didn't pass. This is enabling legislation to allow the county to do it. I think we should put it in. Any opposition? The only concern last time, and I remember it, was, and I can never remember the correct word, not forfeiture, but just taking somebody's vehicle.
Oh, yeah, I had a huge issue with that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so
as
we're
long
gonna
as that's not in there, but I think I support this motion.
all right.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any opposition?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Fine.
Any opposed? Okay, the last one is number 10, proposal to require identification of satisfactory proof of identification so that a police officer may issue a citation for
No,
violation. I know.
no.
We all said no in the room, but they sent it anyway.
Yep.
Is there
I
any
move that we
appetite
do not
for it?
support.
Any appetite for this at all?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That one is voted down. What else is on the agenda before I gotta run to another meeting? Oh, there's lots. Can we do legislative bond initiatives later? Is there anything that people feel strongly about? Because it's gonna be tough to try to get legislative bond initiative.
Look, I'm good with doing it later. I'm happy to see at least one piece in 27A.
I was gonna say, Madam Chair, again, we table that one so we have a little bit more discussions. I need to chat with Chair Barnes on a couple of the way forward. I think they're gonna do something a little different in appropriation. So I need to chat with him more and see what we're looking like.
Okay.
Same
And
here,
lastly,
same here on our side. So
Go ahead.
I think also, this is like a can of worms, but there is a community agreement with the Riverboat where they were to each year offer a $50,000 scholarship, a community grant. They have not done that. So I think that we need as a body to send a strong letter to the Board of Commissioners to offer, when is this going to go into effect? Because it's about 3 years late.
Okay. Can we put that on the agenda for next week? We will be meeting next
Absolutely.
week.
Thank you very much.
And we can probably do LBIs next week, you guys. So Ariel's gonna be bringing around voting tally sheets, you guys, on the stuff that we voted on, so we can get these bills drafted, and so that we will be ready when it's time, when the bills get hearings. Charles County Chamber breakfast. Next meeting is the 24th. You guys know about that? The chamber breakfast? And our next meeting is the 24th. Whew. I have to run.
You got a conflict, the chamber breakfast and the meeting?
No.
Yes.
When's the chamber breakfast? Anybody know?
Kara
Ariel?
on?
Ariel, you know when the chamber
Yes,
breakfast is?
sorry, y'all. I believe they said one of the options was it February 6th? Hold on, I can pull it up.
Oh, I remember that. They wanted March 3rd or March 10th.
That sounds right. There it is.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I think the 3rd is best because we are not getting close to crossover. Crossover is 17th. So I responded that it was best to do it on the 3rd. If we could.
So did Delegate Patterson, just in case there's bad weather or inclement weather conditions.
Sounds good. You guys, I hate to run, but I do have another meeting that had started at 11. Is there anything else for the good of the order? I note that the last reminder is that Dr. Navarro has asked for a meeting at 2 o'clock today on the 17th. Are each of you planning to attend? Okay. Anything else for the good of the
I will attend, but I'm not, I have concerns about what they want us to do, so,
Well, it was about proposed legislation, so that might be good,
okay.
I guess. I mean, we all know we're
I will support you there. Are you there? Are you
I
attending?
will
Deb?
be there. I will be there too.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anything else, you guys? I'm sorry. Can I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. Any opposition? Thank you so much. See you next week, same time, same channel.